Hola, mis estudiantes. Get pumped for our notes for today over adjetivos posesivos, or also known as possessive adjectives. Here we go. So this part isn't on your notes, but you might want to add this to make sure that you have a full grasp of this concept. In Spanish, there are several ways that we can show possession. All right, and one of them is using our preposition de. So for example, if I wanted to say my friend's house, in Spanish that apostrophe s doesn't exist. So in order to express my friend's house in Spanish, we say la casa de mi amigo or amiga. Literally, we say the house of my friend. Okay. There's another way that we can show possession by using possessive adjectives. Now think about possessive adjectives. Now we have them in English as well. Can you identify what they are? All right. Well, let's see how you did. All right, first of all, remember in Spanish, things must agree in gender and number. So let's start with number. All right, here are our singular possessive adjectives. If I wanted to say my, I would say mi. For example, my house, mi casa. If I wanted to say your house, I would say tu casa. If I wanted to say his house or her house, su casa. And if I was using the usted form, then I'd also use su. All right. Now, nuestro and vuestro are a little bit different because notice that not only do they agree in number, but they also agree in gender. So if we're thinking about casa, let's keep our word casa. Would you use nuestro or nuestra? If you said nuestra, you are correct because the word casa, la casa, is feminine. And then vuestro or vuestra, in this case vuestra casa, and then again su casa as well for their house if we're talking about a group of people, or if we're talking about again group of people as well, talking to a group of people. All right, so that's our singular chart. Now let's go over to the plural side. All right, what do you notice between the difference between the singular chart and the plural chart? If you said you just add an s, you are correct. So if I want to say my houses, mis casas, tus casas, sus casas. Again, for nuestro, would it be nuestros or nuestras? Nuestras, muy bien. Vuestras and sus. All right. So make sure that you're jotting down any questions that you may have. Okay, so these possessive adjectives show ownership and describe relationships. Okay, that makes sense. They show ownership, my house, or describe relationship, my friends. So my car, his food would be examples of possessive adjectives in English. Our parents, you all's siblings, or your siblings in English is how we would say that. All right, so they also agree in number and gender with the nouns they describe. So, for example, mis abuelos is plural, and nuestras primas, our cousins, is plural and feminine. So we have to make that agreement all the way through. But notice nosotros, or nuestros, and vuestros are the only two that have to agree in gender as well as number. All right, as far as word order is concerned, it follows the same rules in English, that possessive adjective is placed before the noun it describes, so mi casa. It replaces the article, so the el, la, los, las, un, uno, una, unos, unas. So sometimes I see su la casa. You just her, your house, or her, the house. No, you don't need that. So you just need to say su casa. So tus padres, nuestra hija, sus nietos. So here's your opportunity to stop and practice. So I want you to say those 8 phrases in Spanish. So go ahead and hit pause, and we will go over your question or your answers shortly. Okay, let's see how you did. My office would be mi oficina. Her friends, notice friends is plural, so it'd be sus amigos. If you put amigas, that's fine as well. Our party, think about party, fiesta, so we're going to have that nuestra agree. So nuestra fiesta. Their stadiums, again, notice stadiums is plural, so sus estadios. Your dessert would be tu postre. His classes, sus clases. My oranges, mis naranjas. Again, notice it's plural, so we have to make that agreement. And then our pool, nuestra piscina. All right, so that's your note. Those are your notes over possessive adjectives. Your notes. There's possessive adjective right there. We use them all of the time in English, so make sure that you are comfortable with how to show possession. And if you have any questions, please make sure that you jot those down so we can when you come back to class, we can talk through those. All right, gracias.